All right. Instead of a normal tip of the week this time or some BD quick tips to celebrate the 200th webinar Wednesday that we've done here, we thought it might be fun just to highlight some of our favorite previous tips of the week. We've done a lot over the course of doing these webinar Wednesdays, and a few of them, really more than a few, have stood out to us. So it's difficult to kind of narrow that list down to just three, but we picked three that we thought kind of covered some various topics here and would be useful both to new BD users as well as existing BD users. If you've had a site for 1 month or 10 years, all of these tips should be relevant to just about everybody. The last one is my personal favorite. I think it's the most invaluable tip of the week we've ever done, but we'll get into that in just a little bit. The first one here, optimizing SEO, where to make simple SEO edits. So this was a full step-by-step guide showing you exactly where you can edit all of your website's SEO content. There's a bunch of different places depending on what SEO elements you're looking to optimize, but we kind of went through just about every single area you might want to go into to customize some of the default SEO on the website, from the homepage to static web pages to dynamic web pages like your search result pages on your site and everything in between. So this is great for anybody who's just looking to optimize as best as possible your SEO on your website, looking to improve your search visibility, try to get some more organic traffic to your website. I will say the default SEO settings for BD sites are generally good for 99% of sites, at least when you're starting out. Once you get the ball rolling, maybe there's a few things here and there that you might notice you might want to tweak and optimize a bit more. And that's really where this tip of the week can come in handy. If you're just starting out, I really wouldn't focus too much on SEO. The system does a great job out of the box, but there's a bunch of SEO options in the admin area so that you still have full control over everything. So this tip of the week, we really walked through each and every one of those areas and explained why you might want to update some of those options in those various areas. So this is also a very easy one to follow if you're tech savvy or not too tech savvy. So really anybody, if you're looking to optimize your website's SEO, this was a great one to dive into.
Let me grab the links for these right here, and I'll post it in the comments so you guys can save these. And in case you just caught up with us, what we're sharing is some of our favorite hits of tips we've had in the past that on their own are their own full-fledged videos. This one was 40 minutes long. Feel free to watch at a 1.5x speed. I'll drop this in the comments here. And just to mention here, when you come here, there is a table of contents. If you want to fast forward to certain timestamps of this video, you can see the timestamps here and fast forward accordingly. And just one tip, actually, speaking about SEO. So when you're working on any project, you obviously want to optimize more and more to edge for different things that you're trying to accomplish. I think SEO is actually, number 3 or 4 on the list, especially when you're just starting out. None of it's important, but when you're starting out, what we want to do first is, one, get the site online, connect our domain, and just get something online. Then we want to refine for messaging. Does our homepage make sense? Do visitors understand what they can do on the site? Can the members who we want to join our site know that they should join our site? Are we converting the percentage that we're looking to convert? Are we looking for a 3% conversion rate or 10% conversion rate based on the amount of traffic that's coming to our site? And then SEO, I think, becomes 3 or 4, because first you want to focus on having a good conversion flow and that your site is working for its intended purpose. Then we can start edging for creating unique content, ranking for long tail and short tail keywords, and so on. So just wanted to touch more on SEO strategy as where it relates to the priority list of launching and starting a membership site or directory. But it is certainly important, and it is something that you want to edge for as your site and community grow and develop.
Yeah, great insights there. The second one here, our second favorite tip of the week that we did in the past, reducing churn. Every website, every business has some amount of churn. It's inevitable, but there are some things that you can do, some strategies you can follow to try to re-engage some of your inactive members. And so that's what we went through in this tip of the week. We went through some methods to try to get some of those inactive members back to your website. We shared a few different email templates that you could literally copy copy and paste, although I would suggest tweaking them a little bit, make them a little bit more specific to your website, your target demographic, your members. But we provided email templates, some ideas on exclusive offers that you could extend to your inactive members, and just overall a bunch of ways to try to re-engage them. So this is really great if you're starting to notice a dip in your member logins or consistent engagement from your members. Also, if you just have a lot of members on your website, or maybe you imported a lot of members, you reached out to them, you got an initial bump in engagement and traffic, and that slowly started to die off, you might want to take a look at this video. There's a lot of great strategies, like I mentioned. I think one of the most important elements in this video that we did mention was that it's actually more cost effective to try to re-engage your inactive or your lost members rather than trying to acquire new members, whether that's through advertising or any other sort of marketing method, whether it's financial or a time cost. It's always more effective to try to re-engage your inactive members. They were already interested at one point. You just got to keep them interested. So this was a great tip of the week. I really recommend everybody watch it, no matter which stage you are in your website journey. There's a lot of really great ready to use ideas that you can implement right away.
Let's find this one in the blog here. I'll grab the link real quick. And I think we could just look for reduce churn. And yeah, you spend so much time, marketing and getting someone to sign up. We were just talking about, focusing on getting that conversion high. And, sometimes that flame needs to be reignited with members. They're thinking about leaving, or they're not seeing the value that they're getting, especially for paid members. So what we covered in this one, re-engaging inactive members. These are members who may have canceled or who just may have not visited the site in a long time. And you can check like when the last login date was, maybe months ago. And it gives you some tips on, again, how to re-engage them, bring them back, and reestablish that value that they initially signed up for on your site, and hopefully turn them into, an advocate or an ambassador of your site. That's the ultimate goal, is to get that word of mouth advertising from existing members to recruit new signups to your site. So yeah, this is a great one. Thanks for choosing this one, David.
Yeah, now on to number 3, my personal favorite. I really think nothing comes close in terms of just how invaluable this one was, especially for lead gen sites. That's really what this one was geared toward. It was just front to back, top to bottom list of best practices for lead gen sites. The thing we really kind of touched on in this one was not just the importance, but also how to educate through the verbiage on your site, through the information, everything that you're providing on the front end of your website, the importance of educating both the general users, the visitors of your website, and your members as well. So, for example, if it's, let's say, a lawyer directory, an attorney directory, it's important to educate both the general users who are looking for an attorney, as well as your members, your registered members, the attorneys on your website, in terms of, for the visitors, what they can expect when they submit a lead or a quote request or whatever it might be, and what your members can expect if you're going to be selling the leads to them. How can they know that you've done as much as you can do, being the website owner, the administrator, the manager, to ensure that they're buying qualified leads? So this was a great tip of the week. What we actually did, and what I think provided the most value in this one, was we went into the Wayback Machine to take a look at an old lead gen site. It was Interior Design Pros, a directory for finding interior designers. And on that site, they were selling leads for generally much higher than kind of the normal market rate. And we kind of went through step by step, showing old screenshots from that website of how they were able to justify selling leads for as much as they were. So this was a great one. A lot of actionable steps in this tip of the week for not just boosting lead sales, but also generating more leads as well. And then we also, through those screenshots, went into the actual verbiage that was used throughout the website, kind of explaining and justifying why both the visitors as well as the members, how they both can benefit from utilizing the site and the value that the website offers both of those user groups.
Let's take a step back for a second. Those of you listening and watching now, write in the comments if you are just selling leads, not selling leads, or I don't even know what a lead is. Just type that in the comments, right? Just to give us a sense of if you have a context of what it means to sell leads through your site to your professional business members. While you guys are doing doing that, I'll go ahead and get a link to this video that we had done in the previous webinar. But based on your answers, David and I have been talking about, okay, Nicola says, I don't even know what a lead is. Roger says, not selling leads. This might give us a sense of if we need to do a tip of the week and a refresher course on leads.
There we go. I posted the link in the chat.
Okay, great. Effectively, leads for most BD site owners, leads is the majority of the revenue that is generated. So think of an Angie's List or Angie, think of Yelp, think of Yellow Pages, think of Thumbtack. Professionals join those sites, and these sites do not give leads to them for free. They're either paying to be listed or they're paying for leads that come in. A consumer comes and says, hey, I need a handyman to put my IKEA bed together. And the handyman get that lead, and they're paying $5 or $10 or $20 for that lead. Obviously something nominal, because not every lead is a guarantee for a client or a job. So it needs to be somewhere where they can roll the dice just so they can attempt to sell their services. So Don is saying he hasn't set up leads. I'm seeing a lot of people might not have a total sense of what the leads are for. Jim says he's trying to sell leads. If you're trying to sell leads, Jim, watch this video that David has shared with us here on how to generate and sell more leads, of the best practices for that. But yeah, I think maybe in one of the upcoming webinars, we'll do a refresher on leads. And most sites, unless you're a private organization and using BD as like a private consumer community, and you're not really doing B2C or B2B, it might not be relevant. But for the vast majority of BD users, selling leads is a viable revenue channel. And we'll definitely, from what I'm seeing here, we'll cover it in a future webinar.